Trying to move on to Sunday's show. They got to get through this match, and then they have to get through 2 more tomorrow. There is Jason Belmonte, trying to make the move all the way up from the number 8 seed spot. He was a 222-186 winner over Wes Smollett. Now he has to move on and take on 6 seed Michael Haugen Jr. If you go back to the World Series of Bowling, Randy, a lot of guys had problems on that left lane. Jason is handling it pretty well thus far. Now the intro for our number 6 seed.
The number 6 player owns a pair of PBA Tour titles, including 1 major from Carefree, Arizona, Michael Haugen Jr.
I want to remind you, next Saturday, live on ABC, the finals of the Tournament of Champions, a tournament that this young man won in 2008. Ten-pin, somehow avoiding contact.
To be a downgraded ball.
Well, a very unusual style for somebody that goes as straight as Michael Haugen Jr. does. He's kind of got this last step where he kind of plants. You see there's 0 slide at the foul line. Typically, Rob, you see that with power players, not with guys that go straight. Normally with guys that throw the ball as straight as Michael Haugen, you see that slide and the ball kind of coming together with that slide foot. And it's a very unusual way, and I think probably the fact that he doesn't slide at all is attributed to the knee problems he's had. As you take a look at his arsenal, using the strongest ball in Michael Haugen Jr.'s arsenal, the Bank Pearl.
Come on.
And right there you can see why he's using such an aggressive piece of equipment. To me, it looks like the oil's pushed down the lane. You see very little back-end reaction. Michael Haugen Jr., because he throws it straight, doesn't have the big rev rate, needs a lot of bowling ball to make it turn over down the lane.
So Haugen with back-to-back spares to open up his effort today. And he makes way for Jason Belmonte. It was a bit of a novelty item a few years ago when he bowled a few events on the PBA. Oh, here comes this wonderful 2-handed bowler from Australia. But he's more than just kind of a sideshow. He's not carny folk by any stretch on the PBA Tour. This is a hardcore athlete and a great competitor.
Oh, make no mistake about it. There were plenty of professional bowlers on the tour that knew about Jason Belmonte before he came out on the PBA Tour. And the scary part is that you see how good he is now. He only has 1 title to his credit, but his strength lies where his knowledge starts to increase. That's just going to make him that much better. So as he gets smarter, he figures out what equipment and how to throw it. He's going to be a very dangerous player out here.
Yes. 10-pin shy of opening up with a 3-bagger. You talk about him getting smarter and smarter. Not obviously some of that has to do with more time on the lanes and more tournaments, but also the fact that the knowledge you get, Randy, from your competitors and from your friends. And he and Michael Haugen and Bill O'Neill, who's your number 1 seed in this tournament, spend a ton of time together on the road, and you know the conversations they have. It's just like osmosis for all 3 of those guys. The knowledge they're passing on to one another. Belmo takes care of the 10 and remains clean.
Yeah, that's a great point, Robbie, and you're exactly right. It's all about knowledge from this point forward for Bill O'Neill, for Michael Haugen, for Jason Belmonte, and they've got all the physical tools. Now it's all about how to use them the right way.
Those 3 guys you just mentioned all sharing a house here in Las Vegas for this week and next. Again, the TOC in Vegas next week. Haugen having some problems.
Too soon, Pushing too long.
We saw Wes Malott with some early struggles versus Belmo, and it's being duplicated again by Haugen Jr.
Watch how early this ball starts to hook, and then it jumps right through the face. And a little more down lane reaction on the right lane from Michael Haugen Jr. He's coming in fresh. It's a bit of a disadvantage for him because he hasn't seen the lanes go through transition.
Join the most active community of bowlers on the web by friending the PBA on Facebook. Get tournament updates, view behind-the-scenes photos, and connect with the biggest stars in bowling. And you can check out Winning Wednesdays on the PBA Facebook page for your chance to win prize packs from PBA product registered companies. Simply head to PBA.com, click on the Facebook link to get started. Three frames, three spares for Haugen. And it looks like 4 frames and 4 spares for Haugen now.
He's lost. He went light on that lane the last time he was up on it. Now he makes the adjustment, goes high. What I see right now with the equipment he's using, that ball's checking early and not laying off down the lane.
Which means ball change.
Or he has to change his line, his alignment. He may have to move in just a little bit, soften up on the speed, give the ball time to react. But he has to make a different adjustment. His angle has to change, and he may have to change bowling balls as well.
Nothing but spares for Haugen thus far. Jason Belmonte, strike, spare. Here he is in the bottom of the 4th. A strike here would give him some nice early distance from Haugen.
Oh, no good.
2-4-5-8 the bucket.
Wife watching. First kind of ugly shot for Jason thus far.
Well, he leaves the bucket, and it's pretty much one way to shoot this, and that's throwing it straight and hard and trying to hit the 2-5 right in the face.
And he does just that. Take a look at the Bear Trusted Pain Relief replay, brought to you by the makers of Bear Aspirin. And here is Jason covering it up in the 4th.
Well, some players like to hook it at the bucket. I've always liked throwing it straight and hard at the bucket. Just make sure that you cover enough of the 2-pin to get the back pin, the 8-pin.
So he drops the bucket, and it's now strike, spare. The lead at 10. We begin the 5th.
The adjustment that I see that Jason Belmonte has made from the first match to this match, he's moved slightly towards the center part of the lane with the same bowling ball, and he's gotten just a pinch softer. Now, when he left the bucket on the right lane, it was too firm. You could see it. He's got to keep his speed down to get that urethane bowling ball to turn the corner.
Come on. Ball change for Haugen, and he gets all 10 to drop.
Remember, that's what we talked about. That's what you said. Is it a ball change? It was a ball change and an alignment change. He went straight or moved to the right, and it's a great result. This ball doesn't read the front part of the lane. Michael Haugen Jr. told us yesterday in an interview he's gotten a lot smarter out here in terms of adjusting equipment, going to the right ball at the right time.
So Haugen Jr. off his first strike of the day. We begin the 6th.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Back-to-back jacks for Haugen.
Reminiscent of what he did at the TSC a couple years ago when he was trailing to Chris Barnes. He mounted a serious comeback during the last 5 out of 6 strikes to win the Tournament of Champions by 1 pin.
This comeback will be televised. Haugen Jr. down by 10, but Jason Belmonte, your 8th seed, is up in the 6th when we return to Vegas.